Hello friends, a very warm welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to talk about the diagnostics industry and specifically about Dr. Lal Pathlabs. This industry and the stocks belonging to this industry have performed exceedingly well in the last couple of years. But in the last 6 months to 1 year, there have been a sharp drop in almost all the stocks belonging to this industry. So we'll discuss what is going on in this industry specifically in terms of the competition, in terms of their business, in terms of the growth, in terms of the pricing pressure, and we'll talk about what is happening in Lal Pathlab about their COVID and non-COVID business and what is the outlook of the company going forward. And those who are stuck in this stock by buying it at a very high level will get some clarity as to what they should do, whether they should continue to hold it or they should exit and shift to something else after watching this video. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and hit the bell icon, and if you are not a part of our Telegram channel, do join today as we discuss daily market views and lot of interesting discussions on a Telegram channel. You can search my name and look at the bottom left of the screen and join the Telegram channel today. Before we start talking about Dr. Lal Pathlabs, just a brief view on the markets. We have been discussing a 16,500 and 16,800 as the support zone for Nifty, and Nifty has bounced from that zone of 16,500 to 800, and now we are comfortably well above 17,000 range. Now we are looking at 17,400 to 600 as a cluster of resistances, and if at all we cross this cluster and cross about 17,600 to 650, then our view in short term about the Indian markets will also turn bullish. And as you know, in long term for the next few years, we are already very bullish about the Indian markets, and we consider them as a very high potential for generating wealth. Now in this video, we are going to understand in brief about the business model of this company. We'll see the chart and see how the stock has performed in the last 3 to 5 years. We'll talk about the financial performance in the recent times in brief. We'll discuss why there's a sharp fall in the stock price and what led to this fall. We'll talk about what is the outlook of the company given by the management in the near future, the present valuations and the historical valuations of the company, and what is my view on the company's performance in the stock in the next few months or a couple of years from now. So as you know, Dr. Lal Pathlabs is the market leader in the organized players in the Indian diagnostics industry. It has been into this business for more than 70 years and they have treated more than 100 million patients till now. They have more than 277 labs running under this brand name, geographically spread across India, and they do more than 5,000 tests in various pathology as well as radiology segments. So this differentiates this company from the other chains in terms of trust, in terms of reliability, in terms of technology, in terms of their wide range of portfolio of tests which they have, and that's why people prefer to get their test diagnosed under this brand name. When you look at the chart over a long term, also the stock has been performing really well, and it has created good wealth for its shareholders in the last decade. But post COVID, there was a sharp rally in the stock and it made a high of more than 4,000 at one point of time. But thereafter, when the COVID revenue began to subside with a sharp correction, the price also began to fall and it tested nearly the 1800 zone, which is a fall of more than 50% from its highs, and now the stock has been consolidating sideways. Technically, there is a bad news that after testing this range of 1800, it gave a small bounce up to 2500, and from there on again there is a reversal and it is testing its earlier lows of this 1800 range now, and if at all this breaks, there can be further correction up to somewhere around 1500 on the chart. Now when we look at the financials, the revenue in the last 5 years has grown steadily. This includes both COVID and non-COVID revenue up to 2087 crores, and there you see that there's a decline of about 100 crores. It's somewhere around 2000 crores now in the trailing 12 months, and this can further go down in the next year when the COVID revenues completely go out of picture from the scene. So forget about growth, the revenue has seen a marginal decline, and in the next year onwards, in the next year also, we see that the revenue to be flattish at somewhere around 2000 crores only. But the good news is, if you remove the COVID impact and you just consider the non-COVID revenue, the 9 months year to date revenue has shown a growth of about 15 to 16%. So that's a good sign that the company is still maintaining some growth in the non-COVID business. In terms of EBITDA, you see a similar pattern which made a high of about 550 crores in FY22, and now it's somewhere around 500 crores in the trailing 12 months. And the next year also, it may not exceed this 550 crores which has the company has done in FY22. In terms of margins, earlier the company was doing margins of somewhere around 23-24%, which increased to about 28% during the COVID era, and now the margins have started to fall. And with the recent acquisitions of Suburban, which belongs to the Mumbai area in the Maharashtrian region, the acquisition was of a company where the margins are even much lower. So this will also impact the margins of the company. And the competition which is coming in this space may also force the company to lower their prices, or at least not increase their prices going further, which can create further pressure on the margins of the company. Now, what are the reasons of the sharp fall in the stock price in the last few months? The company had recently done acquisition of a company called Suburban Diagnostics, which is belonging to the Maharashtrian region and specifically Mumbai region. One thing is that they paid slightly higher valuations for that acquisition, which the market might not have liked, and as per the performance, the Suburban Diagnostic has not delivered the performance which was expected out of it, which will impact the financials of Dr Lal Pathlabs altogether. And earlier when they acquired this company, the COVID revenue was also a part of the revenue which Suburban was doing, and the company was expecting a revenue decline of somewhere around 50% from the COVID business, but to their surprise, the revenue decline was more than 80% in the Suburban business. In terms of margin also, Suburban is lower margin when compared to Lal Pathlabs, so this will impact the overall margins of the company. Further, the company has been working on expanding the business of Suburban and expanding their operating efficiencies to expand their margins. But how will that plan out? We'll have to closely see going further in the next 2 to 3 years. The next reason for the fall will be of the competition intensity in this sector, where a lot of big players like Tata Group entering into this business, and tech companies like Pharmacy and several other players who have advanced technology entering into this space and offering lower prices, which will create margin pressures on the company. The offline entrants are also increasing because there are a lot of organized and unorganized players increasing in this industry, as this business, although they may not be able to compete equally with Lal Pathlabs, but the unorganized players also will eat a part of business by offering lower prices. In the last couple of years, the company got a lot of advantage from the COVID revenue, and going further, there is almost negligible revenue from the COVID business, which will drastically impact the financials of the company and also create negative operating leverage in terms of margin pressure on the company. Because of the performance which the company had done in the last decade, the fast growth of the company, and especially in the last couple of years, the company was given higher valuation when compared to its peers, and now since there is a bit of question on the growth performance going further, the valuation premium which the stock was getting in the past may slowly get removed, and the stock may trade at lower valuations compared to its historical averages. The management is not very clear as to how the growth of the company is going to be going further, and also what is the growth number which we can expect as investors in the next couple of years. So this ambiguity also will create pressure on the stock. Now, in spite of these reasons for the fall in the stock price, what is the positive outlook which the management is giving for the next few years? They plan to grow their non-COVID business year on year in a steady way, and they are more concentrated on the east and northern region as of now, and south and west remain their unpenetrated or underpenetrated markets as of now. So there is a huge scope of geographical expansion by the company. They are open to inorganic expansions, like in the west they have recently acquired Suburban Diagnostics. Similar way, they are open to acquire companies to expand their business aggressively in the south. They are expanding their portfolio of tests and adding high-end tests which normally the other diagnostics will not be able to easily provide, and they will keep increasing their portfolio of more than 5,000 tests, which will create competitive advantage for them going further also. They are spending a lot of money on digitalization and offering advanced technology apps for their customers, so that they can easily use it for all the services which this company offer, like doorstep services also. The company is creating bundles and offering services as a package where the customers get a discount, and the company also tries to get higher realizations per customer. They are also focusing on the B2B businesses, where they are in tie-ups with different hospitals to get huge amounts of business at a single go. And they also continue to invest in their R&D and buy advanced equipments, which will give them potential of doing some high-end tests which the normally other diagnostic centers are unable to do. Now when we look at the valuations historically, the stock has got valuations as high as almost 18 times their revenue during the COVID period, but now the valuations are down to somewhere around 7 times the revenue, which is near to its median average. But the problem here is there could be some stability in their stock price at these levels which the stock is presently trading at, as the valuations have become equal to their historical average. But the question here is the question of growth, and if the company is able to maintain the growth average which it has shown in the past, then these valuations will be maintained and the stock will bottom out in this range. And if at all the growth remains questionable, then the valuations may further go down. Presently, the stock is trading at somewhere around 62 PE in terms of trailing 12 months and 7.5 times the revenue, which are still considered as rich, because at this point of time the company is not giving complete clarity about their growth trajectory. And I believe that the stock will remain in this consolidation phase for the next few months or maybe even a couple of years, and there may be further correction if it breaks this 1800 range up to somewhere around 1500, till the investors and the market get clarity about what is happening in this sector, how is the competition going to behave, how will Dr. Lal Pathlabs react to its competition in terms of pricing, in terms of their competitive strategy. Until this company gives their clear vision and growth numbers for the next few years, the stock may remain in consolidation. So if you are already invested in this company, then you should be a very patient investor with a very long-term vision to come out of the stock. And if you are somebody who wants to come out of the stock profitable in the next few months, it seems a bit difficult, and you can consider reallocating your capital to some other sector or stock. Please note that nothing discussed in this video is any investment advice. We are only discussing only for educational purposes as a case study. So this is about Dr. Lal Pathlabs and the diagnostic sector. I hope this video helps you to take an informed decision about the stock in your portfolio. And if you want me to make more videos on your favorite stocks in your portfolio, don't forget to mention those names in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and join our Telegram channel. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.